Could you elaborate on what a data mesh is and why we need them now?
Exactly. Maybe I start with why we need them now and think about that history of data architecture evolution. I think all of those solutions were meaningful solutions as a response to a problem at a point in time, and they did phenomenal work. So, as an example, when we go to why we had data warehousing, they were addressing the problem of um, requiring to get data from silo of applications, and it was very hard. Business intelligence was hard, so we had data warehouse. And since then we have done kind of incremental evolutionary improvements on that. So in 2010s we had data lake because we still wanted to do cross-cutting analytical workloads and run those workloads, but the process of modeling data perfectly to do that analysis was too costly, causing friction. So we said, well, let's dump the data just as is in this or in the where lake and less structured, and we can still get meaningful data out of it for the data scientist kind of scientific workloads and ML workloads. And I think data mesh came again very recently at a point in time that those centralized approaches weren't meeting the needs of complex organizations that need to really move fast. So they're just a response, to a problem that arises with the evolution of technology. And data mesh particularly is a what is it? It's a decentralized socio-technical approach in managing, sharing, accessing data for ML and analytical use cases. And it
Socio-technical.
Socio-technical, yes. So it started as an architecture, to be honest, but then I very quickly you realize architecture and people are very close. The way we organize ourselves, Conway's law kind of mimics the architecture and vice versa. Architecture influences the way we organize teams,
Mm.
and data mesh as a response to organizational complexity and rapid change of organizations mission and their growth and application of data in all sorts of different teams and areas, that it needed to respond to an organizational complexity first. So hence it was phrased as a socio-technical. It concerns itself with both architecture, technology, and people.
So, so a data mesh would allow an organization to collaborate on data projects in a way that otherwise wouldn't be possible.
Exactly, exactly. So data mesh allows kind of independent, autonomous teams that are organizing themselves around a particular business outcome, a particular business mission, a particular business function
Right.
to
So, like
to do data work.
the finance team, the HR team, the data science team, all of these people are connected to the data mesh. It allows different parts of the organization to make use of one kind of consistent. I don't know how to phrase it. You could probably do it better than me, but you can have like one kind of consistent data process that is then accessible to different kinds of teams that might use it in very different ways. So the way that a finance team is working with data, maybe with Excel spreadsheets or financial modeling, is very different from how human resources would use the data or how the data science team would use the data. Is that kind of the idea?
You're getting there. So I would maybe a little bit. The domain is a funny word, and it can be interpreted in many different ways. But you're right that we want to structure the data ownership and data sharing capabilities and responsibilities around parts of the business can who can operate fairly autonomously. So as you said, the finance team generate some data, consume some data. We want to give them autonomy to do that, but do that in an interconnected fashion, right? That
Right.
cohesive kind of experience that you're talking about is about
Right.
standardizing the interfaces between these teams. So Amazon, when API revolution and microservices revolution happened, back in the like building larger scale operational systems, Amazon had this idea of two pizza teams. The teams are autonomous. The teams only communicate through APIs. So bring that data now to the world of data. To bring that idea to the world of data. Then you have a retailer that has a team that's focusing on customer acquisition, a team that is focusing on e-commerce, the team that is focusing on order management, logistics, and so on. And each of these have a very clear business outcome and function and a set of technologies, right? Your e-commerce application, your order management services. So why don't we extend this idea of domain-oriented organization and architecture to data? And if we did that, then what are the foundational technologies and principles we have to be put in place so we don't end up with this data siloing we have? When data
Right.
siloing around domains and application has resulted
Right.
in a collection accumulation of data in warehouses and lakes. So we have to make some changes to have our cake and eat it too, have autonomy of teams and business functions, and yet interconnectivity and access to data across these boundaries.